Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode number 25 of the Sim Racing in Focus podcast. We are a podcast that talks about sim racing, as the name suggests. And after a longer than expected break, we're back again to essentially do a little bit of a podcast update, really more than anything tonight, and a bit of a shorter episode. So hopefully get back into the swings of things, get some of the cobwebs out, and try some new software. But as he normally does, I'm joined again by Jacob Packets Hughes. Packets, welcome back to your podcast as well as my podcast. How you been?
Yeah, I've been all right. Yeah, it's a bit funny. This it has been a while, but yeah, no, it's good. It's good to be back.
It's like rediscovering your skills again, isn't it?
Oh no, it's like whenever I have a break from like doing like Photoshop or anything like that, like even like editing videos, you have like a little break and you come back and you spend like the first sort of 20 to 30 minutes going, how do you do this? And then like you just out of nowhere kind of just like fall in a rhythm again. You're like, oh no, I remember now. Like,
yeah. No, it's been a couple of months and it's all the software's changed. We've got new features and everything like that. So we've got lots to play around with, and even just off a short video that I think we're going to make tonight. Hopefully we can get a little bit more shorter form content off it anyway, and there's plenty to do and explore, mate. But yeah, glad that you're back again. I'm glad that we're back doing this. It's been a bloody busy couple of months. Not so much on the podcast front, but certainly on the sim front. There's been quite a bit going on, mate. What have you been up to in particular in the last couple of months since we last recorded?
well, it's actually kind of funny because like whatever I've been up to sim-wise, you've also been up to the same.
Just about.
Yeah, but I think anything out of sim, obviously I'm not sitting on the casting couch anymore. That's gone. I've gone and had a massive revamp on my room and painted all the walls and decorated a bit better and yeah, gave it a spruce up and it's looking really good. But yeah, on the sim side of things, just been sort of driving the Porsche Cup. I think GSRC on the frequent. And yeah, for whatever reason, I've joined Premiere again and doing the last couple of rounds on that, which we just did Motegi in the rain, which was chaotic and full on, but it was actually pretty good in the end. I think we all had a decent result in the end of that one. Yeah, it was pretty good.
It was a bit of a whirlwind. Yeah, dipped back into the GT3. So it's been a couple of seasons probably since we raced the GT3, but little slot opened up on a Sunday evening. So I know that works well with you with your rosters. You're on nights some weeks and you're on days. So a Sunday night every couple of weeks is pretty good. So it's on well for you.
It was actually really, it's funny because it's kind of a hit and miss, like where it works out like either like really well or like really bad, because like if I'm on nights on that Monday, it's like it works out really well. But like I think that one it fell on, I was on day shift. So like it was like, yeah, race that night for the 2 hours and then I had to be up at like 3:30 the next morning. Yeah, it was pretty hard the next day.
Tell me, how do you feel the people at Premier Endurance League feel about you coming back?
Depends who you ask, I reckon. I don't know. I feel like Ricky wants me there. Like that's like he doesn't openly say that, but I feel like he actually like wants me there based off like how he has his conversations with me.
I think he's learned to ignore you most of the times, which is a good trait.
Well, I think all in all, like one thing, yeah, like Ricky and yourself have in common is like you just know how to take me, whereas like a lot of people just don't. And like, a lot of people are in that Discord like don't know how to take me. I think they just probably think I'm serious with everything I say.
I think one day, your true colours will shine through on the podcast as well, and people will actually get your dry sense of humour. And
I do actually hold back a fair bit on here. Like,
yeah. You're not shy about.
Won't say any more on that.
Yeah, one day it'll get burnt down, I'm sure. But yeah,
Yeah.
no, it was a good race at Motegi because it just pissed down for 2 hours straight, and
Yeah.
we were up and then we were down and then we were up in the standings and then back down in the standings, and I think we managed to come in somewhere around about P10.
Yeah.
Despite your 45 seconds of
Look,
post-race penalties that you accrued.
Depending on who you talk to, some might say that I was racing for 2 hours. Other might say I was just punting people for 2 hours.
That's 45 seconds of post-race penalties. What was it? 3 or 4 separate incidences in 2 hours.
That's, it was 4 in total. Like 3 against me, 1 for me. But yeah, I think it was 2. I think 10 and 2 15s. I think, but I managed to get off one of them pretty easily. Another one I'm still fighting for. But I think even if I keep this other one, I'm pretty sure the gap behind me was big enough that I don't lose a position. So it's there. I'm not too worried about this other one.
As you know, I work for the City of Newcastle Council, and if anyone's unaware, there was a massive protest this weekend to block the coalport. I don't think they protested as hard as what you did to get off those 45 seconds of post-race penalties.
That's saying something.
Yeah. Race control got an absolute barrage.
It's funny. I got knocked back for one of them. It's funny. So I put in like an appeal for 2 of them, and the one that I actually got off was the one I thought that I had no chance in getting off, and I thought the other one that I would have gotten off easily, and it ended up being the complete opposite. And I don't know, the other one I couldn't get off. They made it out like I actually like moved over and pushed them off track, but when you look at the footage from above, we're actually both kind of like going towards each other. So yeah, I don't know. My argument was that it's either a racing incident, which is hard because normally someone's got to get punished if someone else gets caught involved, which 2 of us collide and took out someone else. So I can understand that somebody needs to be punished. So in that case, my argument for that was that we both need to be punished because we actually both contributed to it. So, but yeah, I've got a ticket open at the moment in there, and I just keep putting a GIF in there every day, trying to hassle Ricky to get on
it. There's lucky there's 3 weeks between each race because they'll need it. The admin will earn their money, that's for sure.
Oh, 100%. But it's like, it's just funny. Like, yeah, I don't know. I'm just a pain in the butt. Like, this is. That was the last thing I put in there.
Yeah. Oh god. I think he's learnt to love us. That's good. Yeah, you mentioned GSRC. I've been doing a bit of GSRC myself on the Thursday nights in the Porsche Cup, but primarily we've been doing the iRacing World Challenge VRS Porsche Cup League as well on a Monday night. So teams had some pretty good representation in both. I think the Porsche Cup League wound up last week. So unfortunately for Benny, he ended up finishing P2 in the gold class or the top class in that league. But we had Rod take out silver class, and we also got bridesmaid in the bronze class with Willow coming third. So, but yeah, we had 8 or 9 cars in that league, and I think I was thereabouts for a long time. Started in bronze class, got put up, led silver class for a little while there for the first portion of the season, and then faded away at the back end once the cream rose to the top.
Trying to put your sandbags back in the boot.
Yeah, they caught on to me, unfortunately, and they pushed me up, so didn't want to go too high. But yeah, that was an interesting season. we've had a really good run in the Porsche Cup of late this whole year, really. Even going back in maybe this time last year, we really started out doing it. So yeah, the right team. We've got about 10 or 11 cars. I think we're walking, especially these leagues. We're like a bit of a bloody shot in the arm when we come along and put 10 cars on the grid straight away and boost the numbers up. So
it's
it's
funny
interesting
that,
to see how they all take us.
Yeah, like we've kind of done the same sort of thing we did with like supercars, where we're in supercar leagues, and then like we started like pulling in like privateers through the supercar leagues, like, and then we've gone and sort of done the same thing with the Porsche Cup, like, because like in the past, like, you know, all the supercar guys that we've had have kind of like bounced back and forth between supercars, GT3, supercars, GT3, but now it's just like we've gone and done the same thing, and had a few of us in Porsche Cup, and then we just started pulling in privateers through the Porsche Cup series, which is like probably like the two most popular series like in Australia, I reckon. Like, especially for people that just jump in as like privateers, like it's pretty like, especially when you see it in like GSRC, you always see like privateers like normally lingering in the supercar league or the Porsche league. You don't normally see privateers much in like the GT3 series and whatnot. Usually already like sort of a part of a team.
Yeah, I would tend to say
we've definitely pulled a few in.
Yeah, in GSRC, I think if you go in through the GT3 league on a Monday night, teams tend to hover you up pretty quickly. Where perhaps the other leagues on other nights, it's not so watched or monitored for that type of thing. But, you know, I think so Whiskey Business is another team that's got like a big representation of drivers in there. You know, amongst other guys, so amongst other teams. But yeah, it is a pretty good ground to find people. So we've had some success with that.
Yeah.
But, you know, where we currently stand when we were recording this podcast, I think the Porsche Cup League for GSRC concludes this Thursday night. And so Benny Pedersen and Hayden Smythe are 1 and 2, but then you got Sam Muir. Not sure if he's mathematically out of the equation or he's still in it, but Sam won the IRWC.
Did you just call him Hayden Smythe?
Yeah. It's a SMYTH. It's Hayden Smythe, is it not?
I always thought I'm positive it's pronounced Smith.
It's what do you mean? That's SMITH. As far as I know.
I'm positive it's still pronounced Smith, because I'm pretty sure I've asked him this before, because I've called it out on GSRC. I think when Zach called him Hayden Smythe. Well, I'm positive it's pronounced Smith still.
We've only known him for 4 years, but it's the most confusing Smith I've ever heard. But anyway, yeah. So the boys will be they'll be well. When I say hopefully they'll be fighting each other for the championship this Thursday night. I might rephrase that, but it'll be interesting. It would be the most riot way ever for them to collide and Sam to come through and steal it off them. But
it's on the cards.
I hope that's not the case. So I think the format as well is like the format. I think it's is it Sandown this year, or do they go somewhere else? It's a three race final round, as it always is, and I think the points are scaled up for it as well. So that's never over till it's over.
I think last season it ended at Sandown.
Traditionally, it's either been Sandown or Phillip Island.
Yeah.
And no, I think last season was Phillip Island. The season before was Sandown. But yeah, three races with inverted top tens, I think.
Yeah.
For second and third race. So that one's never. Well, I think Ben and Hayden are separated by 3 points. So like that one's not going to be over till it's over.
Interlagos is the final round.
Interlagos. There you go. And so, yeah, that'll be an interesting race to watch, and I'll probably get along and participate in that one myself. But yeah, it's been we've been, as far as the team's concerned, we've been practicing and racing probably 4 nights a week. So we've been locked in on that. With the IRWC League on a Monday night, we've been practicing on a Sunday. They're our 2 main recording nights for the podcast. So we kind of shot ourselves in the foot there. But as far as we're concerned, we're definitely around still. We've definitely been busy on the sim, and but I'm looking forward to maybe trying to find a little bit more of a I know we keep saying it, but a bit more of a routine night in which we can record. So definitely been. It's definitely been really cool. Just that when we have been racing, there's been lots of people reach out and sort of say that they enjoy listening, and a few people have some ideas for who to get on the show and whatnot. So definitely got a few people in the pipeline already to come on. So yeah, we'll I think I'll try and be a little bit more organised on that front, and hopefully get a few people in. So a few interesting leads. Bigger
I don't really understand how people can enjoy listening to this. It's funny, but I mean, it's funny in the sense of you say that. Well, sorry, I say that, but I listen to absolute nonsense, to and from work, and enjoy it. But then if anyone else kind of listened to it, they're like, what are you listening to? But it's just funny if it's to do with something that you're interested in, and they're speaking about in particular topic, whether it be Porsche Cup or supercars or whatever, then people will sort of just listen to it, even if they don't agree with it. It's just how it is, just draws people in.
Well, I probably should clarify, when I say they enjoyed listening to the show, I don't think they enjoy listening to us. It's usually the people that we get on and have on here. We just talk nonsense. But
they might be talking about the episodes before I started coming on.
It's a hard one. I enjoy it more when we can have a bit of a laugh, but some people are into that real technical. They just want the ins and outs, the specifics and stuff like that, which I can appreciate as well. Yeah. So, and you can get right into the weeds with it, with some of the people, and we, if we can, I can't really tease too much because nothing's certain, but there's some interesting contacts that if we can get on, they will certainly be better at talking more technical and more.
We've got Chaz Mossett coming on soon.
Yeah. I actually think, if I had my journalist hat on, I think the more interesting interview would be Ryan Wood.
Yes.
Yeah. No. We're definitely building some momentum back up. So hopefully by getting this one out there, it's a nice little start getting back into people's Spotify feeds or YouTube feeds or wherever you like to listen to the show. There's more going to be coming down the pipeline. I mean, what an interesting weekend of motorsport we've just witnessed. I don't know how to comprehend the V8 supercar race, and then what the hell just happened in F1.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know where we start with that. Possibly start with the V8 supercars. I have to admit, I didn't get to watch this one live, and I've just been catching up mainly through the drama and the fallout. But
I watched it live, and I don't normally get aggressive when I watch supercars, but man, I was pretty pissed watching lap one, and it's funny. It's obviously been a hot topic, and there's so many different takes on on whatever, the way everyone's looking at it. I was only just talking to my wife earlier, on the lounge, just going everyone's comparing, cause it's just turned into this feud of people that hate Triple Eight and just going, oh, they got what they deserve because they do this all the time. And I'm just what? Give me an example. Like, what do you actually mean by that? Like, because like anytime someone was behind Brown, like it was just Brown's just like not letting him by, but he wasn't fighting like everyone else was, like like Woody was or whatever. But like there's people that are just like on this feud just because they don't. I like to call them the tinfoil hat wearers. They go on about the conspiracies about the teams doing shit, and like it just doesn't exist, and people are just in their head. The teams are in their head. But like everyone's comparing it to like the 2017 incident, like with McLaughlin and Lowndes, like and just going, oh, this is Feeney's fault because he did the same thing that McLaughlin did to Lowndes, and I'm just like, well, no, Feeney like blocked the corner and went straight. Like there's a line on the road where you can see he just stays there and he goes straight. Like McLaughlin like openly like moved over and kept moving over and squeezed him. Like it was like it's completely different. Like same as like when you look at, he should have just like let Woody go. And it's just like, well, why? Because everyone knows that Woody had to be in front of Feeney in order to make it harder for him so Chaz could get by. Like, there's no way that the team wanted him to be in front of Chaz at the finish line. So, like, you know damn well that he's only getting in front of Feeney to make it harder for Chaz. So, like, there's intent there to, like, ruin his day. So, like, even though he may not have purposely punted him, he was trying to make something happen, like, and it just ended up looking way worse than what it probably should have. Because at the end of the day, you look at it and you're like, man, like, you were, like, hugging the wall for, like, a freaking 90-degree turn. It's like, where are you going? Like, where are you actually going to end up? And like the end of the day, like Feeney probably shouldn't have like tried to block it so hard on lap one, but at the end of the day too, he's well within his rights to do that, and he didn't squeeze him. He just held his line and did the right thing. And Wood just did I like Wood, like I've been rooting for him all year, but that was just a bonehead move. And the thing that killed it mostly for me was watching WAU celebrate that in the pits. And you can't say that they weren't, because there's a TV right behind him that had the actual footage of it happening at the time, and they were cheering for it. So that, because like I went into it like going, like I said to a guy at work the other day, I said, man, because he's a massive Chaz fan, I said, man, honestly, if Chaz won it, like, well done. But either him or Brock, and I'd be happy. But like when it went that way, and I was just like, just didn't really sit well. And I'm like, I don't really want him to win it now, because that was pretty poor. But then, everyone's in that argument now where they're like, but he had that engine issue on Saturday, and it was the engine issue on Sunday that, that made him not be able to actually crawl back on the positions. But the thing is, and this is the thing, is like his car was fine up until that point. It had done that many practice qualifying shootouts leading up, and it had no issues. So like at the end of the day, like the issue sorted itself out in the race on Saturday, and then they swapped out a sensor anyway, which obviously wasn't the problem because it came back. But his car was fine until the contact. So even though there was an issue, like the contact obviously brought back the issue that was there. So like if he didn't actually get punted like that, the issue may not have actually came back like the way that it did. So like, I don't know, people find a weird way to like defend it and like justify it. And like, I don't know, like you could sit here and ramble on so many different ways about it, but like that's, and the thing is too, when you start looking at the comments on Facebook and Instagram, it's just absolute cookers. Absolute cookers that have like no idea like what they're talking about, and like most of them can't even spell. And like there's blokes on there that are like just purely having a run at Feeney in his ears, but then you look at their Facebook profile and they're like a full-blown houso, like with holes in their shirts, and I'm like, mate, you're in no state to be ripping on his ears. Like, piss off. Like it's just, oh mate, just the fan base is like the fan base in a lot of things is like bad, but the supercar Gronk fan base is like, well, that's the one thing that made me hate it for so many years and stop watching it. But like they're still out there lingering, and but like
that's the worst thing about
them shouldn't have phones.
The worst thing about social media is all the reasonable people don't really comment. Like
No,
You know what I
no.
mean? Like, it's only you only
Yeah.
get exposed to that side of it. But
Yeah.
I noticed the narrative did switch today. It switched to being more about Brock Feeney's engine issues than
Yeah. Yeah.
than
Because
than
but
the
even like Wing Cup said it, because he's just like, he goes, at the end of the day, he goes, there was an engine issue there, and it was gonna like inevitably cause the issue anyway. But like, I don't know, me mechanically minded thinking about it, it's just like, yeah, like the issue obviously wasn't fixed, but may have been sort of antagonized by the impact that may have, because it was a lot worse than how it was yesterday. And then and it fixed itself yesterday. So yeah, it may not have actually came back if it didn't get punted, because whatever it is obviously something loose, maybe a wiring loom, could have a crack in it and a wire somewhere, like it happens, or a pin's backed out in a harness somewhere. But like I said, if the impact, but it's one of those things you can sit there and go, oh yeah, it might not have, but you don't know really. You don't really know. Could have gone either way.
if you were Ryan Walkinshaw and you're in the WAU garage before the race, what do you tell those two drivers?
Get in front of him. However, you need to be in front of him. Yeah, but that like, he may not have openly gone, oh, punt him. Like, because I don't think anyone's gonna openly say that. But like, surely they would have gone, we need you to get in front of him. Like, just get in front of him, because we need you to hold him up. So like, him being young, like, because he is young and hot-headed, like, he's probably thinking, oh, no matter what, I just need to get in front. But then it's hard to like sort of, because like, there was a post up from Walkinshaw yesterday, and it was like about, I can't remember what it was about, but it was after the whole thing went down, and then or it might have been beforehand, and then it was Ryan commenting, going, oh, we would never openly take someone out, blah blah blah, in a championship. Like, we don't want it to be like, go down that way, blah blah blah. And I'm just like, you don't want it to, but you just celebrated that live on TV. So I'm like, it kind of looks like you do want it to go down like that.
Yeah. I mean, like, I could see the conversation being, into it's turn 3, right? It's like, it doesn't
1, 2, 3. I think it was 4.
It's four. I could see the conversation being along the lines of, someone has to be there in turn 4, force him to either give the corner up or defend the position.
Yeah.
If he gives the corner up and one runs wide, Chaz has got the perfect cutback.
Yeah.
And you like, maybe it was just as simple as that. Just deny him the apex, so he has to go wide, and he can't, and then give Chaz the cutback.
Yeah.
And that, it obviously went spectacularly wrong, but
it nearly took all three of them out.
Yeah.
Like, when you look at it like in slow mo, it nearly took all three of them out. Like, it was so close to happening.
And the other thing I just think of is, like, with NASCAR and the way they race, like, you would have got the same result. You would have had someone sticking the fender in, like, and that's the way it seems to be going. It seems to be like we want to be closer to that than.
Man, and their fans hate that format too. Like, their fans absolutely hate it. Like, Connor Zillich,
there's big dramas.
10 wins.
That's what I was going to say.
10 record-breaking wins in one season, and the dude just, thanks for coming, but you sucked in the last race, so too bad. I was like, what?
Out you go.
What do you mean?
Yeah. And it's even worse because the margins are even smaller. Especially when they go to oval racing over there. Like, it doesn't take a lot to be 20th instead of first in that series. Like, bloody hellfire. Anyway, so, bit of pill to swallow for Brock, but
oh man,
he was devastated. But I want to move on because we didn't even get time to stew on that, and then we had to watch the bloody Qatar Grand Prix, and I don't even know how to summarize what the hell McLaren's doing, but
It's. Do you
I've
think?
almost
Do
become a
you
pseudo
think
Max
they're
fan
open?
this season.
Yeah. Oh, it's funny, man. And like, I think a lot of people are in the same boat. Like, I've seen so many comments from people that have like online have just gone, "Oh, I wasn't really a Max fan, but like the way he's been this season and the way he's come back through, and like how McLaren and that have been, they're like, yeah, no, like I want Max to win. Like I'm rooting for him."
Yeah, it was
There's
even
so many
like
people saying that.
it was even Greg Murphy during the week said like he goes, I never liked Max Verstappen until this season, and now I'm just like I could. It's the best thing for Max Verstappen's PR that could have happened.
Yeah,
And but you know, like Max is just you have to just you just have to shake your head in disbelief how he's there and just go fair play. Like
yeah,
you could almost say he's driver of the season just to be in the title fight. Like you know
yes,
what I
yeah,
mean? Like as far as he's outperformed the competition and the car that he has to get it there.
yeah.
But then, man, I don't know. What do you do if you're in Piastri's scenario?
I think, like, based off the interviews and everything else, like, he's obviously not. He's gotten to that point now where he's just not happy with the team. I think.
You reckon? It's a ballsy
Yeah,
call to walk out there.
yeah. Like I don't think he's. Yeah, I don't think he's gonna walk out. But like, I just think, yeah, you could tell. Well, that's the thing. Zach Brown came out to him, and they're like, "Oh, what did he just say to you?" And he's like, "Oh, he just said sorry. That's all I can sort of, expect from him." And I'm just like, man, he's so pissed. But I think he shrugs it off really easy, that like a lot easier than how he should be. Whereas I think Lando kind of gets his like knickers in a knot a lot harder. Whereas Piastri sort of just goes, ugh, it's just, I was really hard done by, but like that's just how it is. Like, and he kind of just sort of like walks it off. But yeah, I don't know. Like, it's funny. Like, I I don't get why they wouldn't just go, rightio, you've got a pit. We'll just double stack you, like in the order that you're in, because that's just how it is. You're in front, he's behind. We're not going to swap you. It's too bad. That's how you are in the race. So like they should have just done that, because everyone else did the same thing. Like it made no sense. Like it's like I don't know if they're trying to like dodge the
There's
media
a couple
pointing the fingers.
exactly. I was just going to say on that note, like there's theories going away around today. Sorry, that it was because of the papaya rules and the fairness that they didn't want to disadvantage one driver and then advantage another, so they disadvantage both.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
I don't know if I buy into it, but
nah, but why else would they do that? Because obviously they would have known that it was a bad call to keep him out there. Like it backfires so hard. Like,
well, Verstappen ended up winning by 8 seconds, but Piastri was. If that race had gone green the whole way, they reckon the McLarens are on pace to win, to put a 20-second gap between them and Verstappen in third.
Yeah,
like that's how dominant they were.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, it's either the biggest choke under pressure of all time, or they've flown that we're not gonna advantage Oscar and disadvantage Lando in this scenario by making him double stack and essentially go back. But then he would have only gone back. He would have dropped a couple of spots, but he still wouldn't have had to overtake as many cars on track as what he had to with the way the strategy played out anyway. So I don't know. I don't know. It was the biggest freeze I think I've seen for a long time. It was just a freeze. Like, I don't know.
But the funny thing is, like, in the past, throughout the whole season, they haven't like hesitated once about going, oh, get that car in, or like it hasn't bothered them once all season to make the calls in those sort of situations. So like, why now? Because at the end of the day, you want your cars to win. So like,
It's a free
Why?
pit stop.
Yeah,
Pit stop under safety car. Like, it's a free pit
yeah. So
stop, and it's already it was already pretty much a mandated 2-stop race. Like the way that Pirelli
yeah,
enforced they enforced the at this particular track, they enforced the maximum amount of time that a tire could go for, because I
yeah,
think because it's such a high speed, high wear circuit that they didn't want any big failures occurring. So
yeah,
it's 25% rule or something, I think they call it. I can't quite remember,
yeah,
but and I'm a little bit foggy on that. But I just know that they were all geared up to do 2 stops. So when the safety car comes out on lap 7, you might think, oh shit, we can't get to the end, but they were already going to be doing 2 stops. So it was a free stop. So it
yeah.
just makes it worse. I just, man, I feel for him. Like, it's just, the English commentators will say, like, his pace in the second half of the season's been bad, but it's pretty much just been the last 5 races. But,
Yeah.
God, I hate Lando
Do you
too.
think?
Just, I don't know why, but I just mainly, for no other reason than he's just the championship, you know, he's the main championship rival for Oscar, but like, I really thought he was going to do it quite easily when he had that 25-point lead, Oscar, in the championship.
He was just walking away with it at one point, eh? Like,
Well, he looked like unflappable. He would just get in the
yeah,
car on the Friday and he would get quicker and quicker and
yeah,
quicker and quicker and quicker and just wouldn't take a backward step for like, that's how he raced
yeah,
for just pretty much the whole start of the season. It looked like he was just turning into this like, almost like, unflappable bloody Schumacher-esque just guy that was just going to continue
yeah,
to just grind out results. And Lando, on the other hand, was just like bottle dropping everything. Like,
yeah,
so it's swung full circle now. So,
yeah.
but that's a bit, yeah. So
Because
anyway,
I think they're on. Yeah, I think they've individually won 7 Grand Prix now, like in the season. I think that's right.
yep, I think they all have, haven't they?
Yeah, yeah. Between the 3 of them, they've won 7 each. I think.
Mm-hmm. And I heard, I heard today that Oscar will be forced to miss FP1 because McLaren haven't used enough junior. They have to do a certain amount of FP1 testing with junior drivers.
Yeah,
So he's gonna. It must be his turn to miss out on FP1. So that's not really what you want going into a championship
no,
decider. But and sort of most people have wrote him off now and saying it's really just
yeah,
now down to Lando and Verstappen.
yeah.
I'll tell you what though,
You know what's funny, but is like you know what Max is like, and like look at him in a turn 1, like he's just like freaking straight on the outside of Lando, like he didn't give a shit because he had nothing to lose. He knew he had to be up there, so he's just like, no, I'm going. Yeah. Like whatever happens. And then even on the podium interviews last night, he even said to him like, hey, you feeling going forward to the last round? He goes, honestly, I'm not really thinking about it. I'm just going to go do whatever. Like he was just so, I don't give a fuck about it, so I can casual about it. Like it. So it's funny, and like everyone knows what Max is like when push comes to shove. Like because he's been racing pretty easy and pretty clean for like a good nearly half a season now. Like hasn't been any of those weird moments where they're like, oh, Max is aggressive, or he's like nearly come in collision with this person, blah blah blah. Like I think the last round, like especially like with Lando, it could happen. Like I think there's gonna be a bit of a disaster on the last round.
Hasn't the narrative flipped where like, yeah, I know what you mean, when he did like the full dive bomb on Denny Kvyat and like back at the start, this guy's reckless. But if you see, everyone going into this race weekend will be thinking, we just need a Max dive bomb on turn 1, and then this race is just going to explode off its brain. Like almost gone full, like they almost egging him on to do it. And I am too. Like, I don't know, like if I was Oscar, I'd almost like to be in like the Mostert position for this race start where you're going to benefit from whatever happens in turn 1, because I mean Max has got nothing to prove.
Yeah.
and he will treat it like championship or bust, and that's you
Yeah.
know. Yeah, Lando, do you want to mess with that? Like, but I could also see Lando just lifting into, like, if he had, say it was like that, he qualified pole, Max P2, Oscar P3. I could
Yeah.
just see Lando playing, just settling for second on road.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and playing
It's
the
going to be funny, I
championship game.
reckon. Especially if imagine it if like Max is like P1, but then there's like magically Lando and Oscar like just on the same pace, and they end up having to be the ones to duel it out. Like there's so many different ways it could go. Then if it rains, which I don't think it will, but yeah, if it rained, that'd be that as well. Yeah,
so probably
not much of a chance.
Yeah, Dubai just in general is just not a great. It's typically not, but it's been processional. But generally, when we get to this point in the season, it's already done and dusted. But as a racetrack, is it gonna throw up? Great racing if those three are going at it on the track. Like, I don't know, but there's enough there with that straight into the chicane that if I'm Oscar, like far out, like I'm getting alongside Lando and I'm probably pushing him over a sausage curb or two just to see whether I can't get any damage on that floor.
Yeah, well, isn't it the Mercedes has normally been good there the last couple of years? Is that right?
No, I think they generally, they've been pretty strong in the back half of the season. Mercedes, well, George was good around singing, like, so they might be okay there. If they can get into the mix, then that'll make it very interesting. So it's such a tough barometer though, because like I said, generally the championship's done and dusted, and it's just a bit of a processional event, but. And it's more about the junior test drivers that sort of come in the week after. But it'd be interesting, I'm hoping for a Max Verstappen chaos race. If he could wipe Lando out in turn one and then go on to get a 20-second penalty or 30-second penalty, and then I don't care. Oscar can Stephen Bradbury the championship. I'd be happy with that. It's been long enough. Australia needs someone up there.
It was actually Lando that won it last year. Yeah. It was. Well. Yeah. Well, I think Max was 6.
Yeah.
But very it's hard though. It's so weird with like Formula One how they do that. They always go, oh, these guys are so strong here last year. I'm like, man, these cars end up being so different on year-to-year basis. Like, look at them, like McLaren last year versus this year. Like, it's just like, it's you can never usually go off previous results. Like, unless someone just openly likes the track and they just gel the track, which, I think Oscar is kind of like that with Qatar, like where they just were. Like, he loved that track for whatever reason, where it's like probably one of the most punishing tracks in the whole calendar year for him.
Yeah. Anyways, it's going to be an interesting watch, so I'm hoping for the best for Oscar in that regard, mate. But look, I think we can wrap it up here for this week. It's just a bit of a test episode for us to get back underway, get our audio and everything sorted out. I'm hoping that we can try and go with a fortnightly schedule. Somewhere around that time frame would be nice. So we're already talking with getting Ricky back in from Premier Endurance League, and they enter their final round in the coming weeks for the Limited and the Open Series in the GT3. So we'll touch base with them, hopefully cover off a little bit about what's happening in other Australian leagues. So have a bit more detailed wrap up with the GSRC Porsche Cup, and we'll look into the Logitech G Pro Invitational Series as well as that concludes in the not too distant future. And never know, we might even be able to try and get someone from over that side of the V8 scene, on the Australian iRacing scene, on the show to talk to us about what's been happening over there, and then we'll take it from there. But mate, Packets, once again, thanks for jumping in, short notice. and getting this one back up and getting back on the airwaves.
No, that's a good, mate. It's good to be back. Good to dribble some more. Always.
Yeah. Yeah, it was interesting. It was good to try and get some rust off, mate. And, I'm sure we'll pick up and get some good people on here to hopefully get out there to the community. But yeah, other than that, as always, you can find us through Spotify or Apple Podcasts or on the YouTubes these days with our video content as well. So keep an eye on the Facebook page as well. Hopefully we'll get some reels going there and a few highlights from each episode to try and get some stuff out there to the people that like the shorter form content. But other than that, that's it from us, and we'll see you again very soon, I promise.